other fellow protesters.
This is what women life freedom has to mean in the United States, because here, more of us covering our hair is what gives more of us the freedom to choose. I am proud to say that Nyack is the only place I have never felt my Iraqi side has fit to shrink a bowl, because the Iranians there are the ones who truly. The past few months, racism from the pro-war Iranians towards their Afghan and Iraqi neighbors has been at an all-time high. These people argue that American invasion will go better for Iran than it did for Iraq or Afghanistan because of innate differences between the three countries and their people. The awful reality is that Iraq and Afghanistan were a lot more like Iran before the United States showed up. What the future holds is not about the nature of Iran compared to Iraq or Afghanistan. It is about the nature of the United States and how the Pentagon has always waged its war. Unsurprisingly, my Iranian friends' interest in the American war on Iran has taken on a new urgency, and they are asking me questions. The answers are the saddest I have ever had to give. One dear comrade this week asked whether, quote, any of Iraq's cultural heritage sites were damaged or destroyed during the American war. Any. She did not expect the answer might be both. So even anti-war Iranians are underestimating what it would mean to be America's next Iraq. Palestinians know this well. Unlike Iraq, Iran has not yet lived through the widespread devastation of its major metropolises. Iranians have not yet experienced genocide at the hands of other Iranians. They have not endured prolonged state collapse.
Oh, nice.
And I
think I saw a message
prevent
request
all
come
of
in. I
this.
didn't click
I
on
hope
it
they
yet.
never have to. But on the very first day of this illegal and unprovoked war of conquest, American or Israeli bombs hit elementary school in Minab, Hormuz, killing 165 schoolgirls in their classrooms.
Shame!
Here is some of what else has been hit in Tehran: the Gandhi Hospital and a dozen other hospitals and medical facilities, the historic Grand Bazaar, the new Azadi football stadium, a gym where teenagers were exercising, a student dormitory, the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Gulistan Palace. Once again, you know who leads the surprise? Palestinians. The parallels between the wars on Iraq and Iran are astonishing, but the contrasts are also astonishing. In 2002, Congress voted to authorize the use of military force in Iraq. Congress wasn't asked to approve this war, and this week I watched our so-called representatives fail to intervene. After the two war powers resolutions were both voted down in the House of Representatives and the Senate, they did not look aghast. They did not look horrified. I did not see expressions of pain on their faces. I did not see any acknowledgement of the magnitude of what had just happened. Even the progressive Democrats smiled and shook hands and made small talk as if they had just disagreed with the majority on what to order for lunch. Shame. As if they were glad that the war would proceed and their pocketbooks would be lined and Republicans did them a solid by taking the heat from their voters. Where are the American crowds banging on the doors of their offices? In 2003, 87% of Americans had been fooled into believing the lies that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. Still, millions of people marched in the streets in 650 cities worldwide to try to stop the U.S. invasion. It was not enough. This week, although 36 polls document widespread American opposition to this war, anti-war protests have barely filled these steps. I'm glad to see it is a bit larger now. On top of that, American media disproportionately covered the fraction of the Iranian diaspora that celebrated the illegal assassination of Ali Khamenei. In in 2003, hundreds of international reporters were stationed in Baghdad ahead of time to record the invasion. Iran was under a near total communications blackout. CNN was the first American outlet to get access on day 5 of the war. Iran has a population of 92 million, almost 4 times the population of Iraq in 2003. Iran is also nearly 4 times Iraq's land area. The Trump administration knows, therefore, this war will cost a lot more money. We are hearing he's preparing to ask the Department of War to request $50 billion additional funding from Congress to replace the munitions that the United States just wantonly fired everywhere last week. This reminds us of the Overseas Contingency Operations Slush Fund George W. Bush used for Afghanistan and Iraq. At one point, this OCO funding was larger than the budgets of all federal agencies except the Pentagon, the Department of Health, and Veterans Affairs. Before it was shut down, Congress had allocated more than $2 trillion to it without the same oversight as the regular Department of War budget, which already has never passed an audit. Money for health and education, not for bombs and occupation. My first ask of everyone here is to organize against this. Find a group who wants to build the kind of world you want to live in. Malcolm X was asked what to do when the forces of evil are so numerous and we seem so few. He said, never let anyone else tell you how many of you there are. Number 2, learn about and organize against the sanctions. Think about why Islamic Republic officials can still have mansions in posh districts of London, while ordinary Iranians struggle to buy essential medicine. You've been lied to about sanctions policy and what it's for. Number 3, a word of hope. I'll end here. Iraqi attitude towards Americans is much worse than it was in 2003. I know from experience, many of those opposed to us now will soon realize they've been tricked into supporting mass killing. We have to be ready to organize them too. Thank you. Hands off Iran!
Hands off Iran!
Hands off the Middle East!
Hands off the Middle East!
Fund the people's needs, not the war machine!
Meet the people's needs, not the war machine.
Fund the people's needs, not the war machine!
Fund the people's needs, not the war machine.
Imperialists, we want them gone!
Imperialists, we want them gone.
Keep your hands off Iran!
Keep your hands off Iran.
Imperialists, we want them gone!
Imperialists, we want them gone.
Keep your hands off Iran!
Keep your hands off Iran.
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
Stop the war on Iran now!
Stop the war on Iran now.
We want justice, you say how?
Thank you.
End the siege on Gaza now!
End the siege on Gaza now.
Israel bombs, USA pays!
Israel bombs, USA pays.
How many kids have they killed today?
How many kids have they killed today?
Israel bombs, USA pays!
Israel bombs, USA pays.
How many kids have they killed today?
How many kids have they killed today?
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
US out of everywhere!
US out of everywhere.
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air!
No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air.
US out of everywhere!
We're going to call up our next speaker, Ambassador from the Council on American Islamic Relations.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Basha Jamil, and I'm the Policy Manager at the Council on American Islamic Relations Los Angeles chapter. And I am here today to condemn, in the strongest possible terms, the illegal war being waged by the United States and Israel against Iran. This reckless escalation is pushing our world toward the brink of nuclear war and unimaginable suffering and destruction. It must be stopped now. We largest government in the world, for whom no civilian target is off limits. Not even schools, not even hospitals, as we've seen over and over again in Palestine and in Lebanon. And now, during the sacred month of Ramadan, a time when Muslims around the globe fast and focus on reflection, on mercy, on restraint, another unlawful war has been launched where children are being blatantly killed and blatantly targeted.
Shame!
That is not defense, that is not justice, and it will never bring peace, liberation, or so-called democracy. I belong to a generation in this country that grew up knowing nothing but endless wars and foreign interventions. We saw it in Iraq, we saw it in Afghanistan, where millions of innocent people were killed by American violence. And we have seen it again and again in Yemen, in Libya, in Pakistan, in Syria, and on and on and on. We cannot do this again. We cannot send another generation of young people to die in another catastrophic war on behalf of the Epstein class. Nearly $4 billion has already been spent in just the past week on this war. $4 billion! And we have been told that this could go on for months, even escalate into a ground invasion of Iran. Make no mistake, that would be catastrophic, not only for the region, but for the entire world. Shame on the members of Congress. This week refused to support the War Powers Resolution and instead handed the Trump regime license to wage an illegal war. And this includes 6 Democrats who have collectively received an estimated $6.7 billion from AIPAC and its mega donors. When millions of dollars from the war lobby are flowing into our political system, the result is exactly what we are seeing now. Elected officials putting the interests of powerful politicians and billionaires above ordinary people. We must reject every politician who is willing to sacrifice American lives and the lives of people abroad to serve the political agenda of Israel, the Trump regime, and the war lobby. Our government is supposed to serve the people of this country. If our leaders truly cared about protecting lives, they would start right here at home. They would address the dozens of school shootings our children have already endured just this year. They would confront the homelessness crisis that has pushed hundreds of thousands of people onto the streets or into their cars. They would deal with the tens of millions of Americans trapped under the weight of medical debt, of student loan debt, in one of the richest countries on earth. But instead, we are told there is always money for bombs, always money for war. While families struggle to survive, civilians are forced into destruction. Make no mistake, this is the war done for and by the Epstein class and the war profiteers who believe that the world belongs to them. They gamble with human lives. Like all of us, pay the price. We demand that Congress stop serving foreign political agendas and start acting in the interests of the people that they're elected to serve. All people of conscience must rise up and demand an end to this war. Demand an end to the slaughter of innocent human beings. Demand an end to this barbarism. Enough is enough. No more war. Stop the killing, and all power to the people. Thank you.
Power to the people!
Give it up for Basha, everybody! So many great points made. I want to highlight, you know, like, International Women's Month right now, and tomorrow is going to be International Women's Month.
What do the words down there say?
It's
we belong to God, and we belong to Him. We're returning to Him.
Right on. Thank you. Very cool.
They choose to bomb an all-girls school. How does that make any sense? Shame! They talk about, here in the U.S., they talk about women's rights and women's rights to choose. And yet, Iranian women in Iran can't choose their form of government and choose sovereignty? Shame! We have to understand that before this military war of aggression on Iran, there has been a long-standing economic war on the country and media war, all this propaganda to have us thinking that Iran is the problem, Iran is the big scary boogeyman. But really, it comes down to who's really holding women back in our country, who's really oppressing Black Americans here, women here, immigrants here. It's our government, it's the U.S. government, is that right? Yeah. So, another thing, when you think about what's happening with Iran, you know, it started with the bombs a week ago, and they're planning to have boots on the ground there. And already they're deploying people, and already it hasn't even been a full week. 6 service members of our own country has already died. 6 reported, shamed. And it really just goes to show, like, our hearts are with Iranians, our hearts are with working class people, with civilians everywhere, including the people in our own front yards. So we really have to continue to link these struggles together. And the same people waging war on Iran, Palestine, Venezuela, Korea are the same people waging war on working class people right here. With that, please give a big round of applause for our next speaker. We have Omari, a local organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Give it up.
All right, this is Party for Socialism and Liberation, aka PSL.
Money for the people's needs.
Not the U.S. war machine.
Money for the people's needs.
Not the U.S. war machine. Money for the people's needs. Not the U.S. war machine.
That's right. Money for the people's needs is exactly what we need here, right now, because there is an abundance of issues that affect working class people in this country every single day that we could use money to solve right here. The Trump administration has been attacking our rights and gutting the social services that so many working people depend on to live every single day for the past year. They cut SNAP and food stamp benefits while millions of children go hungry every day. They cut Medicaid while tens of thousands of people in this country die from lack of access to health care every year. They cut funding for education while our literacy rates in this country among children plummet. And then what's worst of all, they tell us, oh, we don't have the money to do any of those things. We don't have the money to fund health care, to fund education, to fund housing. They tell us those things are impossible. They tell us we don't have the support. They tell us we don't have the power or the numbers in Congress. They tell all these lies to us. And then, all of a sudden, almost miraculously, when it's time to fund another war on the other side of the world, suddenly they find billions of dollars to do exactly that.
Shame.
When it's time to fund another war on the other side of the world, suddenly they find a way we do with $1 billion right now, today? Just actually take a second. What can we do? Anyone, what can we do? Fund schools, fund healthcare, jobs, education, housing, homelessness. That's enough money to end homelessness, to put every homeless person in a house, not just in LA, not just in California, but in the entire country. And in fact, that's exactly what that money should be used to fund, because that's our money!
position only. It's the one for Los Angeles Fire Department to increase funding for them.
Do you have to be a citizen of Los Angeles City? Oh, okay, I'm not in the East Coast.
Oh, yeah,
Good luck.
Not for war and deportation.
Not for war and deportation. Money for jobs and education. Not for war and deportation. From the belly of the beast. Hands off the Middle East. From the belly of the beast. Hands off the Middle East. From the belly of the beast. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Hands off the Middle East.
All right, everyone, we know it's really hot. We know that we're, dealing with this heat today, but we just wanted to say that this is not even remotely a fraction of what our people go through when they are being forced out of their homes because of U.S. and Israeli war and genocide. This is but a fraction of what our people deal with when they're forced to be displaced from their homes so that Israel can try to steal more land in our region. Shame!
Shame.
And it's actually our responsibility, no matter what the conditions are, for us to keep showing up in the streets, to mobilize every single day, to show where the majority of people here stand, which is against Zionism and against U.S. endless wars. So if people need water, there's some water by the table, but we want to encourage everyone to keep the energy up. Let's come closer, let's chant as loud as we can. We're organizing every day in between the mobilizations, but these protests are important because they show where the majority of Americans stand. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So are we ready to be loud?
Yeah.
Are we ready to make our demands heard?
Yeah.
And are we going to continue until this war ends? U.S. imperialists!
U.S. imperialists.
Number one terrorists!
Number one terrorists.
U.S. imperialists!
U.S. imperialists.
Number one terrorists!
Number one terrorists.
Imperialists, we want them gone!
Imperialists, we want them gone.
Keep your hands off Iran!
Keep your hands off Iran.
Imperialists, we want them gone!
Keep your hands off Iran.
Keep your hands off Iran!
Israel bombs, USA pays.
How many kids have been killed today?
How many kids have they killed today?
I hear you! Israel bombs, USA pays!
Israel bombs, USA pays.
How many kids have been killed today?
How many kids have they killed today?
Trump, you can't hide!
Trump, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
Netanyahu, you can't hide!
Netanyahu, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide!
We charge you with genocide.
Not another nickel, not another dime!
No more money for Israel's crimes.
No more money for Israel's crimes!
Not another penny, not another dollar.
Not another penny, not another dollar.
We won't pay for Zionist slaughter.
We won't pay for Zionist slaughter.
Money for jobs and education.
Not for war and occupation.
Not for war and occupation. Money for schools and education. Not for war and deportation. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. US out of everywhere. No boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere.
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
And the war on Iran now.
And the war on Iran now.
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
And the siege on Gaza now.
And the siege on Gaza now.
Fund the people's needs, not the war machine.
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 I'd like to introduce the next speaker on this program. We have Hashim here with us, a community organizer based in Los Angeles, a father, a working class person, here to talk to you.
Thank you. First, I want to thank you all for being here. You have to understand how important this is to show our solidarity, this togetherness. Thank you for being here. I also want to encourage you to pack it in a little bit. I'm going to speak as loud as I can, and I hope everybody can hear me all the way to the back as you can. Just pack it in just a little bit. My name is Hashim. I'm a community organizer raised in the tradition of the Black Panther Party. That's right. My parents served with the Panthers in Berkeley, and they taught me something that Huey Newton and Bobby Seale understood long before I was born. And that's that on our neck is the same as the death of the people abroad. We need to end this terror. It comes from the same set of legs. When the Panthers stood in solidarity with the people of Vietnam, the United States government called them the enemy. They called them radicals. I call it being clear-eyed. They saw that the same government sending black men to die in the jungle of Southeast Asia was the same government sending police to occupy black neighborhoods in Oakland, in Chicago, in Los Angeles. Nothing has improved. Instead, it's gotten worse. Right now, the United States government is waging war with the people of Iran. They're calling it Operation Epic Fury. Shame. In the first 24 hours, the United States spent $800 million. That's $9,000 per second of working people's hard-earned wages. Since October of 2023, the U.S. has spent $33 billion in military aid to Israel and U.S. operations in the Middle East. Shame! That includes the genocide in Palestine. Shame! It's all about this before this war even started. Last year, starting with Operation Midnight Hammer, continuing now with Epic Fury, the United States has spent over $10 billion targeting Iran. That job is wrong. It's not stopping work. They're earning money at the tune of $1 billion per day. Let me put that in plain language for everybody. That's over $40 billion that could have paid the salaries of over 500,000 teachers. That same money could have built 172 affordable housing units. That same money could have provided medical care for 4.5 million people on Medicaid, Medicare for a full year. And I want you to understand where that money actually goes. On the morning of February 28th, 1 week ago today, around 170 girls aged 7 to 12 reported school. They arrived at their school in Mina Duran. The U.S. military had their coordinates. They used AI tools for specific targeting. They knew exactly what they were hitting. The first missile struck the school. A teacher and a principal moved the children to safety in the prayer hall. The second missile struck the prayer hall.
Oh, good.
165 children are dead. Many of of them are still being identified by DNA because nothing else remains to identify them. Hey! The school's name was Shajara Tayeba. Remember it. This was not a mistake. Empire calls children being killed collateral damage. But let me ask you, are children collateral damage?
No!
Are children collateral damage?
No!
That's right. Children are not collateral damage. We should be clear, there is no such thing as children as collateral. This was a choice made in your name, paid with your wages, and they made this choice without a congressional vote, without an authorization, and without your approval. But here's what they really don't want you to know. Just this week, Trump met with the heads of the 5 biggest weapons corporations in the United States, and they agreed to quadruple the production of weapons. Not because the nation is in danger, not because we are in harm's way, but because Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and Boeing, they get paid every time a bomb drops. Their CEOs are taking home $20 million per year. Their shareholders, and yes, this includes Congress on both sides of the aisle. Their shareholders have their portfolios grow with every escalation. The Republicans and the Democrats have been writing blank checks to these contractors for decades. This is a bipartisan racket. This is a bipartisan scam. What I'm telling you is, they are running us for all of our hard-earned money. And now reports are coming in that Trump is preparing to deploy troops. And he said he wasn't going to do that? Boots on the ground. Shame. The 82nd Airborne. These are not the children of the billionaires who profit from the war. These are working class kids. These are our kids. This is us being sent to die on behalf of an empire that's never done a thing for them or for us. Now, I organize in Crenshaw, in Baldwin Hills, in Lamert Park, and I want to tell you something about occupation. We know what occupation looks like. Black folks in this country have been under occupation since emancipation. Los Angeles has been under occupation by LAPD since before any of us were born. Stop and frisk, gang injunctions, ramparts. They call it policing. I call it counterinsurgency against our own communities. And now we have ICE terrorizing our neighborhoods on these same streets. Families being torn apart right here in the city of Los Angeles. It's the same logic. It's the same violence. Turned inward and turned outward at the same time. The imperial violence that's raining down on Tehran is the same violence that's been raining down on black and brown communities in this country for generations. It's not a coincidence. It's a system. The defense budget just tripped $1 trillion for the first time in history. I'm going to say that again. $1 trillion. Shame.
Shame.
At the same moment, they're cutting Medicaid by $900 billion. They're cutting housing assistance. Do you know that there are over 1.3 million school-aged children that are unhoused in this country right now? They're slashing education. They made a choice. They decided to choose weapons contractors over your schools, over your child's school lunches. They decided to choose empire over your grandmother's health care. This is what our comrades in Palestine have been telling us. This is what the Vietnamese people told us over 50 years ago. This is what the people of Iran are telling us right now with their bodies and with their lives. We cannot be silent. Not as a people who know what occupation means. Not as a working class people whose wages fund the bombs that are dropping on the people of Iran right now. We know that the children of Tehran are no less worthy of life than the children of Crenshaw. Now the Panthers had a slogan, I heard it chanted here today. The Panthers had a slogan, it went all power to the people. Let me hear you say all power to the people.
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 That's right, all power to the people. Not to Lockheed Martin, not to the Pentagon, not to Trump and his band of billionaires, not to the Epstein class, not to the corporate duopoly who's been funding the war machine across administrations decade after decade. All power to the people.
All power to the people.
That's it. Thank you.
All power to the people. All power to the people. All power to the people.
That's right. Thank you, Hashim. Give it up one more time. It's going to take a broad coalition of people coming together to say no to endless wars. So, hearing from the list of speakers so far has been so inspirational. Seeing all of us in the crowd here today really is so invigorating because it shows. Let's actually do a little exercise. If you're Iranian, give it up.
Yeah.
One more time, all the Iranians in the crowd, give it up.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Bah, my Iranian people. Love it. But you know what's so incredible?
I'm one
It's not
quarter
just all
Iranian.
Iranians
My
here in the
mother's
crowd.
father
It's
came
people
to the
who
US from Iran in
represent the working
1965.
class. It's all of us, you know, who represent the United States, who represent this country coming together because an injury to one is an injury to all. And so we have to remember that, and I'd love to see, you know, all of the diversity in this space today. But I will introduce the next speaker, who is an Iranian, and her name is Aida Ashuri. She is a community organizer, an attorney, an incredible person who is going to speak to you about her campaign and the Peace and Freedom Party. Give it up for Aida! Hands off Iran!
Hands off Iran.
Hands off Iran!
Hands off Iran.
My name is Aida Ashuri, and I'm also a candidate for LA City Attorney for the Peace and Freedom Party. And I'm the only candidate here from any race. There's no Democrats here, just me. I was born in Iran, and some of my first memories was hiding from U.S.-made bombs during the Iraq-Iran War. The United States sold chemical weapons to Saddam to use on Iranians, and before cancer was unheard of, and then the rates skyrocketed. And what do you think is happening now with all the toxins that they're dumping on our country? 20 years ago, I traveled to Iran by myself as a woman. I felt safer than the United States. I traveled to Shiraz, Esfahan, the city I was born in, Tehran, Tabriz, Urumia. All those cities are being bombed right now!
Shame.
My mom's side is from Urumia. I'm a proud Azeri Irani. The girls' school was bombed there. My dad's side is from Nazreen. A boys' school was bombed there. We have seen body parts of children blown up, just like in Gaza, just like in Syria, just like in Afghanistan, just like in Iraq. No more! No more!
No more!
This didn't happen overnight. Consent was manufactured over years with propaganda. It didn't start with Trump. All leaders before had a part in what's happening right now.
Shame!
The media White supremacy played a part of this. Orientalism played a part in this. The idea of saving the light-skinned Iranian defenseless woman from a dark-skinned aggressor. Ignoring black violence right here in our United States. Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, trying to save people elsewhere, but people are dying in our prisons, in our detention centers, right here. They try to ask people, do you want to be bombed? How is that supposed to provide any reason for every illegal action that they take? Everything that they do is illegal. Every person in Congress is guilty. This is before Epstein. There was a coup in '53 when Epstein wasn't even born or was a fetus, whatever. And current government has been attacked and has soft war for years through cyber attacks, through manipulation, through sanctions. This didn't just start last week. This is a deranged behavior to try to see and manufacture consent through manipulation of the diaspora, through manipulation of people in Iran. It is purposeful to numb you to this. It is purposeful to normalize the war crimes through our media, to normalize and numb death, and to dehumanize these people. These companies that are making money, AI, OpenAI, Amazon, Google, Palantir, these data centers, the betting markets through Polymarket, the politicians who are investing in the stocks, they don't care about human life, they just care about their greed. They are broadcasting war crimes, an unarmed ship of trainees. These are kids, 18, 19 years old, that was blown up. 100 people died. It was a war crime. They don't even try to save people in the water. That's against the Geneva Convention. Another war crime. School after school is blown up. More war crimes. Nothing from Congress, nothing from the media, continuing to normalize it, continuing to try to make the aggressor the victim. Every Democratic paid influencer pretending to be leftist, they're guilty. They're still criticizing the government and dancing on the grave of its dead assassinated leader to try to continue to manufacture consent. Manufactured consent did not stop with this war. It's still happening. Again, while they continue to drop bombs, the insanity, they will blame the victim, just as they do when they rape the little kids. They will blame the victim in this situation. My entire life, I had to battle this propaganda, this prejudice, this anti-blackness, white supremacy ideology, anti-Muslim ideology. Consent was manufactured locally. Vidya Raman, who's a candidate for mayor, stood right here with the monarchists 2 years ago, supporting them. Ted Sherman, Ted Lieu, Derek Tran, local Congress members, called Iran terrorists and said they're #1 enemy of the U.S. Right now they're saying this after the bombs dropped. I saw people who work in Congress who are now running for city council, like Dylan Kendall, pure propaganda dehumanizing Iran after October 7th and trying to blame everything on them and spread anti-Muslim propaganda. This is why I'm running with the only anti-war party, the party of the Black Panthers, the party of anti-war activists, the Peace and Freedom Party. Two-party system was created to divide you. What it is the workers versus the rich and the billionaires. That's the only party we're fighting. That's right. I'm glad you're out here on the right side of history. What's it gonna take for everybody else? How many more war crimes till you come out? My mom said she's sick of reading the news. She has to stop because she has to continue to work to support herself. She said this country's not like Iran, where you can go to your aunt or your friend and they'll feed you, where a shopkeeper will share food with you. They are not burdened with debt like we are from university. College there is free. They don't have to be burdened with health care because it's cheap. They don't have interest on their loans. Our government doesn't care about us. We are squeezed dry as taxpayers. Money for war, but can't feed the poor. Or cancel student loan debt, medical debt, build housing, transit. Tehran has better metro than LA. three things after today. One, unlearn all the propaganda that you've been fed. Try to learn about the people they say are your enemies. And teach everybody you know to unlearn this propaganda. We need to have critical voices. Two, continue to work towards a general strike. These people in office don't care about us. We have power as the workers. You saw during shutdown, who were the essential workers? It was us, not the people in Congress, not the CEOs, not the owners. We are the essential workers. We have to hit them where it hurts, their pocketbooks. And that's why we need to move towards a general strike.
That's right.
And the biggest, most important ask I have of you today is to help me call on the city of LA to divest from genocide.
That's right.
We need to divest from death, from police brutality, and invest in our communities. We need to demand our city to divest from genocide, demand every single city in this country divest from genocide. St. Louis, Missouri did it, a city that I used to live in. We can do it too, right here. And I am calling on every single candidate in the city of LA and cities around the country to do the same, to call on the city to divest from genocide. Because if you want to stand for human rights, that is what you're going to do. I will be at the city council meeting every Wednesday at 10 a.m. This coming March 11th, Wednesday. Join me every Wednesday. I will be there. We have to do something. We have to start doing more. We have to start hitting them in their pocketbooks. The other thing you can do is register with the Peace and Freedom Party. Because we need that from the two-party system. We have to help hit them where it hurts. Show them that they can't keep hoodwinking us. We are going to take our power back as workers, as independent voters, as critical thinkers, right?
That's right.
And make sure to vote June 2nd, because they're going to discourage you, they're going to propagandize you, they're going to try to hoodwink you. And each vote for me is a crack in their system. And I'm the only third-party candidate in the entire city. So thank you so much. Hands off Iran!
Hands off Iran!
Hands off Iran!
Hands off Iran!
From the belly of the beast!
From the belly of the beast!
Hands off the Middle East!
Hands off the Middle East! From the belly of the beast! Hands off the Middle East! Stand up, fight back! 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 Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! From Gaza to Beirut, all our martyrs we salute. From Gaza to Beirut, all our martyrs we salute. From Tehran to Beirut, all our martyrs we salute. We will honor all our martyrs, all the children, sons and daughters. We will honor all our martyrs, all the parents, mothers, fathers.
All right, everyone, I want to call up Ramin, a Muslim Iranian organizer who's been organizing to break the siege on Gaza with the global Samud flotilla. Assalamu alaikum. As I thought about what I should say here today as an Iranian, watching my home country bombed by the U.S. regime I live under, I was stuck with which words to say. What
can I say when it feels like we have exhausted the means of language? Should I talk about Zainab, whose face was bloodied after a U.S.-Israeli strike, martyred her father and left her mother in critical condition? While humanitarian workers tried to comfort the young girl, just as we saw Palestinians do in Gaza? Or should I remind you all of the almost 200 schoolgirls in Ninab killed as they read their books, all while Israeli propaganda blames the victims for these war crimes, just as they did with Al Ahli Hospital in Gaza? With the new iterations of injustice that feel painfully similar, it often feels like there's nothing more we can say. But just because this time the bombs fall in street names that I recognize and that I have walked, doesn't mean that it should affect me or you significantly different. Right now is a time to move against the U.S. war machine. Because how dare we fall into despair while our elders, our siblings, and our children are facing bombs? So I ask that our political ethos not be reduced to reactionary stages. While it might feel good to experience a fleeting moment of taking to the streets, we need more. We need action that is consistent. And one way to be a part of that is to support our global movement to Gaza. In just about 1 month, our largest fleet yet will sail to break the ongoing siege on the Palestinian people. But the upcoming Samud flotilla has been hidden from the headlines. How many of you know that our activists and their families are being attacked? Ordinary people like you and I on a mission to deliver aid are being targeted, but they will not stop in breaking the siege. In fact, the rise in international organizing is only growing to confront Zionism. Because when governments fail, let alone contribute and support genocide, we all have a responsibility to step up where we can to reject the complicity. Finally, I say as a Muslim, alhamdulillah, I know, and other believers here know, that we will be called upon for a day of reckoning. But is that final day not enough to awaken us from our comfort? What will our response be when we are called to answer for inaction as our tax dollars went to kill Lebanese, Palestinian, and Iranian children, men, and women? So I urge you to take action now. Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Money for jobs and education!
Money for jobs and education!
Not for war and occupation!
Not for war and occupation!
Money for jobs and education!
Money for jobs and education!
Not for war and occupation!
Not for war and occupation! U.S. imperialists!
Number one terrorist!
U.S. imperialists! Number one terrorist! Israel bombs, USA pays! How many kids have they killed today? Israel bombs, USA pays! How many kids have they killed today?
All right, everyone, give it up for our final speaker on today's program, Gabriel from Central CSL.
No more warships, no more bombs. No war with Iran. No more warships, no more bombs. No war with Iran.
Spanish ones now. Raza sí, guerra no. Raza sí, guerra no. Raza sí, guerra no. A Irán yo no voy. A Irán yo no voy. Porque yanqui yo no soy. Porque yanqui yo no soy. A Irán yo no voy.
A Irán yo no voy.
Porque yanqui yo no soy.
Porque yankee yo no soy.
And that basically translates to, you know, people power. We're not trying to fight no war, and we're also not going to go fight no war in the Middle East anywhere because our fight is here against U.S. imperialism. So first and foremost, oh yeah, I want to shout out the crowd, everybody here. Shout out to PSL LA, the Hamster Coalition, PYM, Code Pink, everyone out here that organized this. Shout out to all y'all. Thank y'all for inviting us. You know, US out of South Korea, I see y'all too. Right here, the homies right here. That's right. Alright, I'm gonna keep it short, sweet, because y'all already said so much great things. But first of all, my name is Gabriel Quiroz Jr., part of Centro CSO. You ever heard of Centro CSO? Yeah, that's right. I'm also a member of Freedom Road Socialist Organization, and I'm going to read a quick statement by them. The United States and Israel are waging a war on Iran. It is a war that is unjust and unprovoked. There have been widespread civilian casualties in Tehran. Over 1,000 civilians have been killed. Shame!
Shame!
Including, which is confirmed now, at least 85 school children dead in Manal. Shame!
Shame!
This is a war that the U.S. chose. Trump walked away from negotiations, then enlisted apartheid Israel, and now bombs and missiles are raining down on schools and TV stations. Iran has every right to respond. And as y'all know, Iran has been responding, am I right? This year comes in a context. The decline of U.S. imperialism is accelerating. Trump is trying to preserve the dying U.S. empire, and control of the Middle East is a part of that project. Last year, the U.S. and Israel waged a failed 12-day war that was meant to break Iran. Now they are back at it again for another try, along with his partner in crime, Benjamin Netanyahu. I feel disgusting just saying that name. Trump will face more defeat and failure, if not sooner than later. Either way, they will meet the fate of the paper tigers that have gone before them. Iran is charting an independent course. It stands at the center of an axis of resistance that includes the progressive patriotic forces of Palestine, Yemen, Lebanon, and Iraq. The free people of the Middle East won't live under U.S. domination. They are determined to end the genocidal occupation of the Zionists, so the defenders of empire will have their hands full. Here in the U.S., progressive and revolutionaries need to go all out, uniting all who can be united to end the war on Iran. What the U.S. and Israel are doing to Iran is a crime, and it needs to be judged accordingly. Trump is now talking about regime change. The truth of the matter is that we do need a regime change. A regime change in Washington, D.C. As we oppose the war in Iran and build the broad front against Trump, we can and we will make the U.S. ungovernable. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you to everyone. Continue to organize. Continue to stand up and fight back. If you're not part of an organization, join one. You know, if you're part of an organization, reach out to CSO, FRSO. We'll reach out to fight against U.S. imperialism and fight for immigrant rights and fight for the people. That's all I gotta say.
From the belly of the beast, hands off the Middle East. From the belly of the beast, hands off the Middle East. We want justice, you say how? Stop the war on Iran now. We want justice, you say how? End the siege on Gaza now. Trump, Trump, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Netanyahu, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide.
Thank you all so much for coming today. Again, just to come back to our responsibility as people living here in the U.S. It's very clear that the U.S. and Israel have been working to keep the Middle East under the boot of imperialism. We know that every single attack by Israel on Lebanon, on Palestine, on Iran, on Yemen is green-lighted, funded, and made possible through the shipments of military cargo and through the funding from the United States. Shame!
Shame!
And the only way we can stop U.S. and Israel's aggression on the Middle East is through an arms embargo. This has to be one of our primary demands as a movement, to organize for an arms embargo. Woo-hoo! So we say, no more weapons for the U.S. and Israel to bomb girls' schools, UNESCO sites, and neighborhoods in Iran. No more weapons for the U.S. and Israel to massacre Lebanese people across the South. No more weapons for the U.S. and Israel to bomb safe zones, neighborhoods, and hospitals in Gaza. So we ask all of you to join an organization, keep showing up, keep organizing, and keep your eyes on Gaza. Keep your eyes on the Palestinian prisoners' struggle from within the occupation's prison. Keep your eyes on Lebanon, and keep your eyes on Iran. It is our responsibility to organize and to put an end to this war, for an end to the genocide, and for freedom and sovereignty for all our people in the region. Thank you. It's so important we continue to come out into the streets and turn these movements into one of hundreds, transform it into a movement of thousands, and then take that to the hundreds of thousands until we reach the millions. We need to be flooding the streets in the millions. And so how do we get there? We have to organize. That's such an important thing between these demonstrations, between casting our ballots and walking away from the voting booth. We have to organize. So please, I encourage you all, look at the anticoalition.org for any upcoming actions. Locally, we're going to continue to show up, continue to mobilize until we see U.S. out of Iran, U.S. out of everywhere, and funding the people's needs, not the war machine. We can't let it reach the point where they start deploying Americans in the thousands. Right now, it might not seem like we'll ever get there, but we have to say no now before it gets too late. So let's keep it strong, keep organizing. You've heard from such incredible speakers. Join an organization and start with the Anti-Coalition. It's basically an anti-war, anti-racist coalition group. So start there, stay connected, and stay after and connect. I encourage you to meet at least one new person today. Let's build community. Let's keep showing out. Thank you guys so much.
Alright folks, I'm gonna walk a bit off to the side to give others some privacy, and then I'll post up to have a little chat with y'all. Thank you to everybody who is watching for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who is showing solidarity in any way that you are.
But if you are in the United States especially, I encourage you to raise your voice, speak out against this war on Iran, as well as the continued aggression on the rest of the region, the continuing genocide in Palestine, continued aggression on Lebanon. We must stand against imperialism, especially within the imperial core. Thank you to the folks who are in the chat. I do see one person is saying, "Yo, Jacob, why you not answer on Instagram?" I do apologize. That is something that I am behind on right now. I know that I've got Instagram DMs to catch up on. I will work on that. Wherever you are, continue to educate yourself. Continue to stand up for justice. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Goodbye, everybody.